Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Ghostbusters 30th Anniversary 2-packs, featuring Winston Zeddemore and Ray Stantz, and Egon Spengler and Peter Venkman. So to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters, Mattel is releasing 2 new 2-packs of their same Ghostbusters figures, but with a bit of a twist. This time around, they include some accessories that probably should have been included before, and on top of that, the Proton packs are removable. So, is it worth picking these up if you've already got the other Ghostbusters? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at them so we can figure that out. First of all, the boxes that they come inside of are beautiful. They have these great window boxes there, so they fully showcases the figures within, and they sort of resemble the packages we had before, so we've got the 2 terror dogs kind of on either side of the box, but there's this really beautiful artwork in the background of both figures. One of the packs features this green ghost, while the other one features Gozer standing right there behind the characters. So it's very bright, very colorful packaging, and they do have the 30th anniversary Ghostbusters logo stuck right there on the front of the window. So the boxes themselves are very nice looking. The back of the boxes look just like the other packages we've seen in this line, kind of with that messy desk motif there with an open file folder, giving you some information on the 2 characters whose figures are within those boxes. Alright, so let's go ahead and open these up here. Now, I've already reviewed multiple versions of the Ghostbusters in the past, and I'm going to tell you first off that the figures themselves are pretty much identical to what we've already seen. They've got those same head sculpts, their bodies are almost exactly the same, with the exception of the torso being a new sculpt to hold the removable proton pack, but otherwise the outfits look pretty much the same, the articulation functions exactly the same as what we've seen before. So, I'm not really going to focus on a lot of that stuff. I mostly just want to talk about the things that are different about this set as opposed to what we've already seen with the other figures released. So you already know what to expect as far as all of the head sculpts and everything go. The likenesses are pretty good. Ray still has kind of that weird squished look going on with his head that we've seen before, and Peter and Winston definitely have the 2 best likenesses as far as I'm concerned. You'll notice that the outfits, like I said, pretty much the same. The paint jobs are even very similar. However, they are all wearing their black gloves this time around. The previous versions, they weren't all wearing the black gloves. We've had different versions of all the characters, but the standard releases, most of them had their gloves off with the exception of Peter before. Other than that, we've got everything else pretty much the same, except one minor gripe that I have to make about Egon. You might notice that Egon's pants are untucked from his boots on this figure. The reason this is weird is because Peter should be the only one walking around with his pants untucked. That's a specific characteristic trait of Peter alone. And in the past, he was the only figure whose pants were untucked. The other thing that's weird about this is all of Mattel's promotional pictures for these figures show Egon done the right way with his pants tucked in. So I don't know if this is some sort of change that they made with Egon coming packaged with Peter. I don't know if it was easier just to use the same molds for some reason. Maybe mine's a mistake and they're not going to all be like that when they get them. I don't know. I don't like it though. That is a huge downfall about these figures because I'll tell you right now, these are almost perfect. The almost perfect versions of the Ghostbusters in figure form, if it weren't for the fact that you'd be buying this and getting an incorrect Egon. So that's a huge downfall. So let's go and flip around and look at those proton packs while we're at that point. I talked about how the torsos are different. That's because the old figures had the proton packs permanently attached. So this time around, the new torsos have the ability to slide the proton packs off. And it's actually kind of cool because they're just strapped right over their shoulders. So you can just kind of bend their arms back, you can pull the proton pack right off their backs, and that way we've got our Ghostbusters without their packs on. Now, originally Mattel was going to do this because they were going to release an Ecto-1 to go with these, but they did it a pre-order, and the pre-order didn't meet the minimum, so as of right now, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting that Ecto-1. I don't know if they'll ever change their minds about that, but it's not something that's coming out currently. So we do have these Ghostbusters now that can take their proton packs off. I don't know if you want to get out the old Kenner Ecto-1. They're obviously going to be a little bit too big for it, but you know, you can kind of make it work. It's kind of neat looking, sitting the guys on the inside or standing them alongside it. So you've got the option to display them this way if you want to. Now, even though those proton packs are removable, if you look at them compared to the other versions we already got on the past figures, the sculpts themselves still look pretty much exactly the same. And the neutrino wands are still kind of made of the flexible plastic, just like the hose that attaches to them, and they can be clipped onto the back of the proton packs when they're not using the wands. So that all functions exactly the same, even though the packs are removable this time. So some of the other additions that these new 2-packs get. First of all, they all get figure stands. I like that. Figure stands are always great to have with any action figure. It features the No Ghost Ghostbusters logo, but this time around they're all done in a glow-in-the-dark white plastic, so there's no red on there whatsoever. They just glow in the dark, but it's really cool still. I like having the stands to put underneath the figures. And then the best thing that these figures come with, they all come with proton streams. This is something that I feel that should have been included with the original releases of the figures. They always should have had proton streams. So I'm very happy to see that rectified with these sets. The streams are very cool. They're done in this translucent kind of orangish red and blue plastic. It's exactly the same as what we've seen with a previous release of Peter Venkman. And they can just clip right there on the end of the neutrino wands. But this time we've got one for all 4 Ghostbusters, so now we can get some really great poses of these guys blasting some ghosts. So there you go, my friends. There's a look at the new 30th anniversary Ghostbusters 2-packs. Like I said, for the most part, a lot of things about these guys are exactly the same as what we've seen before. The sculpts are pretty much the same, specifically in the heads. The articulation functions the same. The only big differences here are the fact that we now have removable proton packs, we have new figure stands, and they all come with proton streams. I would say that if you have never picked up the Mattel Ghostbusters figures before, this is the time to do it, because these right here are almost the perfect Ghostbusters sets, with the exception of the fact that Egon's got the wrong pants. But otherwise, you're getting removable proton packs, you've got proton streams, you've got a lot of good things going on with these figures. Now, if you've already got the Ghostbusters, it's kind of bittersweet. Like I said, there's a lot of things that come with these that probably should have come with the original figures. So I don't know if you want to buy them again or not. That's really going to be up to you. Really, this is kind of bittersweet because I feel like this is the set that we should have had from the very beginning. This is how they should have been made from the beginning. So it's a bittersweet thing that we're getting them released probably at the tail end of this Ghostbusters line from Mattel. These sets retail for $50 a piece, so essentially you're paying the same price as when they were individually sold because I believe they were $25 a figure, so you're paying basically exactly the same for these 2-packs here. These are available on MattyCollector.com right now with limited stock, so if this is something you want to get, you definitely want to jump on it soon before they're gone for good. So happy hunting, my friends, and until next time.